Matot-Masei, ideas in the realm of Gematria from the Parshah and for the Geulah, which means for the redemption. This article is both articles 42 and 43 because it's a double Parshah. And Matot is the 42nd Parshah of the Torah, and Masei is the 43rd Parshah. And today happens to be the yahrzeit, the anniversary of the passing of the great sage Rashi, Rabbi Shlomo Yitzchaki, Rabbi Shlomo ben Yitzchak, who wrote a commentary, a vast commentary over all of the Torah, Talmud, the Tanakh, the entire Bible. And today is the anniversary of his passing, the 29th day of Tammuz, and this year is particularly interesting because with many sages we have some we have their birthdays and years of birth and passing, some we don't. But for Rashi we have the exact year of birth and passing, and the year that he passed was 1105, and that this year makes it exactly 920 years. And the date of his passing is 29, the same digits. So there's some, and what's also interesting, and I had a theory for a long time, and I would like to invite anyone who has information on this topic to please share it, that from what I remember, that Rashi, in the tractate of Baba Batra, most of the tractate is not Rashi, it's the Rashbam. I think it's his son-in-law. I think it's the Rashbam. It's one of the sages of that time, but it's not him. Maybe it's his son-in-law, I think, yeah. But if I remember correctly, that his commentary started in Baba Batra and it ended on page 29. And I asked if he wrote the Shas and his commentary on Talmud in order, and if the last tractate that he did was Baba Batra, because the Baba Batra Chavtet is where his commentary stops and the Rashbam starts, and his yahrzeit is 29 of Tammuz. But even if it's not his last commentary, his last tractate, still it's interesting why he stopped on that page with Baba Batra, which makes it's also really what makes Baba Batra the longest Masechta, because a lot of the dafim in Baba Batra are very short. It's only because massive commentaries of the Rashbam that makes the page volume so many pages. So that's a sort of I won't call it a conspiracy theory, but just kind of a wondering about this connection. So I figured I would voice this question today, which is his yahrzeit, and the fact that it's exactly 920. And I've heard from Rabbi Ginsburg years ago that there was a certain analysis that the Baal Shem Tov talked about, and it's really just, mathematicians would see things this way in terms of permutations. It's not used much in conventional Gematria, but if you take a 3-digit number, let's say 1, 2, 3, there are 6 possible combinations of every 3-digit number. Let's just say 635. So you can have 356, 365, 536, 563, 635, and 653. And so the way to really know the Gematria, really know the meaning of a word, is to know all 6 possible combinations of each word to really expand out. Anyway, so I'm taking that idea to today, because today is the 29th of Tammuz, which is like 029, and it happens to be that's 920 years. That being said, let us start the Parshah. Parshah, Zechuto Yagen Aleinu, Zechuso Yagen Aleinu. And with that, start the Parshah. Parshat Matot-Masei, the final double portion of the book of Numbers, summarizes the Israelites' journey through the wilderness and details laws concerning vows, the war against Midian, and the boundaries of the promised land. It also outlines the establishment of Levitical cities and cities of refuge. The Parsha highlights themes of commitment, conflict and justice, emphasizing the importance of ethical considerations in warfare and the need for accountability within a community. As far as the Parshah of Matot, Moses explains the laws regarding vows and oaths for both men and women and how they can be annulled. The Israelites wage war against the Midianites, detailed with the distribution of spoils and the purification of captured items. The tribes of Reuben and Gad, request to settle in the newly conquered territory east of the Jordan River due to their large herds. Moses agrees, but on the condition that they participate in the conquest of the rest of the land. Masei. As far as Masei, a detailed account of the Israelites' travels from Egypt to the plains of Moab, making the end of their 40 years in the wilderness. The boundaries of the Promised Land are delineated, and the cities for the Levites, including the cities of refuge, are designated. The concept of cities of refuge is introduced, providing sanctuary for those who accidentally kill someone. The Parshah concludes with the resolution of the case of the daughters of Tzlafchad, ensuring they receive an inheritance in the land. There are two numbers that gematriatically connect both Parshas of Matot and Masei through a common theme. Those are the numbers 3 and 11. The numerical value of Matot-Masei is 635. Matot is 455 and Masei is 180. 455 plus 180 is 635. In the beginning of Matot, we have the laws of vows, where there are three character types that are linked, three types, personalities that are directly linked together with each other. Father, husband, and woman. A careful look at the verses will reveal that the words wife, Isha, now it says Isha, but it's only referring to the husband, as in Ish Shelah. So it says Isha, but the word Isha doesn't appear in the giving of the laws. The words wife, Isha, and daughter, Bat, are only implied in the words of the verse, but they're not explicitly mentioned. Although in another verse, the words widow, almanah, and divorcee, grusha, are mentioned, in the verse, the law is separate for these types of women. The three that are directly connected in terms of having their vows annulled or not are father, husband, and woman. Woman includes wife and daughter. All of the laws are stated without using the word ishto or bito. It is only after all the laws were stated and the Torah makes a summation and says Eila hachukim asher tziva Hashem es Moshe ben ish leishto ben av lebito. Only after all the laws are stated, and then it says Eila hachukim, and then it says ishto and bito. But the point is that it only says father, husband, father, and daughter. Father, husband, daughter. That's it. So there's a story of the two tribes of Reuben and Gad that requested the land east of the Jordan River, but then another half a tribe, that of Manasseh, came into this group. This comes out that there were three types of people to have land in the Trans-Jordan. 635 is the numerical value of the word shlosha, which means three. Or alternative, you could say hashalosh, the three. Either way, 635 equals a form of the word three. And Matot-Masei equals 635. So we see a connection between 3 and Matot-Masei in these two instances. And now we come to the number of 11. The Parshah concludes with the resolution of the case of the daughters of Tzlafchad, ensuring that they receive an inheritance in the land. They were from the tribe of Manasseh. Manasseh is really the tribe of Joseph because of Joseph's double portion, Ephraim and Manasseh. Joseph was the 11th son of Jacob. The words Ben Achad Asar, it's one way of saying the 11th son, or son 11, equals 635. Just as Matot-Masei equals 635. Have a great Shabbos. Shabbat Shalom. Chazak chazak v'nitchazek. Chazak chazak v'nischazek. Aaron comes to make peace. Have a great Shabbos. Shabbat Shalom.